Hello. Okay. Hi, everybody. I have to get the big screen set up so I can see comments. I am alone. Hope everybody is having a good Sunday. I'm having a productive Sunday, so that's awesome. Just kind of lining things up and knocking them out. Your channel. Hey, that's me. Ooh, quiet. My goodness. Y'all are not slow on the uptake. All right, here we go. Quick round of shout outs as soon as I get it to be, hold on, there was a way to make this bigger and I knew it once. Control plus. Ooh, that did it. Okay. I think I'm good with just 200. All right. Hello, John Lowell, John C., Line Cook Thor, Jamie Thaxton, longest name on YouTube, Ken Zarish, Larry Hughes, Stanley S., Stacy Hawkins. Is this really Stacy or is it still Tony? Sons of Wayne, Plump Cosplay. I'll admit, I'm intrigued. And hello, Plump Cosplay. I haven't noticed you on before, hence me gawking at your name, but, soon. Welcome. Jeremiah Dempsey, Genfa, hello. I give shout outs to the first 20 or 30 people or so, depending upon how this goes. Cassandra Nylander, Tuttenberg Studio, Anaxanamoon, and Jeremiah Dempsey, Cobwebs and Candlesticks, Mike Cherzanowski, Line Cook Thor. Oh, I already said hi to you. Mike Dunez. I'm saying Dunez. Mike Manning, James Minnick. Handy Stars. Hello, Handy Stars. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad to have you join us. Hello, Paul Bennett. Destiny Faulkner. Hello. C. Dempsey 47. Good evening and hello. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I did it again. Aha. And boom, boom, boom. I think I said hello to everybody. Chad Smith, hello again. All right, and I feel caught up. I may not be caught up, but I feel caught up, and that's what's important. Okay. And this way I can look at you to doing as. I don't even know what my second guess was now. I'm just going to call you Mike, okay? Mike works. Okay. Yeah, Cobwebs and Candlesticks does have a pretty rockin' name. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I need to do? I need to get on an apron because this is a new shirt. And I don't have the best track record. Although I did one. And you know what? Also, I'm going to throw on the old back-up brace because I am old. And if you're not old, I don't recommend it. Oh, okay. I'm excited to have you here, Destiny. That's awesome. And this says Mr. Hops on it. I did. I squeaked by. I got through the first live feed earlier today where I was making a Jack Frost mask. And if you guys want to know if you can see that mask, I'll show it to you in a second. And then you'll know if you want to watch it. It is better than the alternative. You're correct, chat. Ezekiel, hello. Well, it wasn't an active bet. Only Cobwebs. Cobwebs, he manned up. And he said, I bet he would lose it. I bet he would get it dirty. And then he paid up. This is what I made on the last live feed. Did all the finish work on this guy. Yes, I did treat my body like it was a rental for the first 40 years or so. So that's something that we have to kind of correct. Maybe 38. All right, so I have to wire this guy. This guy needs wiring. I must wire his eyes. I love the Krampus tradition, legends, whatever. Just the whole concept of Krampus. I really like it. It's something I take to heart. I think it's good. I think anything that kind of allows you to beat kids is good. Probably shouldn't have phrased it that way, but I know what I meant. I ain't scared. Oh, I am rested, and I do get to do what I love. So that is a wonderful thing. Again, I'm going to ask you guys to please at each other if you're talking to each other. That way I don't have to read the comment, because I'm going to get overwhelmed. I have no doubt eventually. I'm constantly overwhelmed. I'm just good at faking it. Let's be real. I agree, cobwebs. I agree. I have too much crap in my pockets. You guys do that? And I hate having stuff in your pockets. I have a wallet. Sweet wallet that I put a Beastman patch on. And then I have car keys. And this picture of this lady. It's a tag, actually, from Fake Hair that I found out in my lawn. Now, my dogs must have relocated for me. Hello, Rue Newman. How are you? I have a new roll of speaker wire. That's exciting. It's amazing what we get excited about as adults. Ooh, new speaker wire. Thank you, Dave Coombs. That's very nice and kind of you. I am actually glad to be back. I did. You know what? Actually, so earlier today, I got so many people this week. Well, it wasn't even a weekend. When I was on the road to Alabama and back with the Godzilla horn, that today I was in line at Whataburger getting a meal, and the Whataburger employee was taking the garbage can back. So I'm like, oh, I'll Godzilla horn him. And I hit it. I wasn't in my van. I was just in my car. So I became that butthole who honked his horn at someone for no reason. Because I honked and I was staring at him, and then I had a look on my face like, well, that's not the right noise. Hello, family. Hello, Rue's family, since he asked to say hello. Okay, here we go. There is no alcohol. Oh, that was an ad. No, not yet. Not yet. Will this work on this? This is like a double sheath. I had, like, it's in the, oh, it's probably over here. Yes, shop tomorrow. This is my favorite little wire stripper. Yeah, it did work. And only reason I was a little surprised is that it had that sheath on it, and it just took off the black stuff, which is cool. Great. Booze lockdown. That sounds way more fun than it is, I bet. Okay. So now I have this piece of wire. I'm going to do another one. Hello, weird kid. Yes, the white Krampus, it's coming. Currently, it's not white. Currently, it's a flesh Krampus. But flesh Krampus sounds oddly adult and way more festive than this program is going to be. So, go elsewhere for your flesh Krampus. Now that the main sheath of that is off, I am going to use this guy again. Yes, different show. That's like Still Beast After Dark, which doesn't actually exist, nor should it ever. Nope, I just have big thumbs. There we go. I am trying very hard to get this guy. I'm not used to it having like this sheath over it. So now I got to push this side out. It's like the alien. Like the extending tongue. Never mind. I knew what I meant. Hello, Realms. Dave, I have no doubt that you are just as talented as me. Maybe they lie in other areas. If you can play a musical instrument, then I would say that you are more talented than me. I can play the harmonica poorly. That is all I have when it comes to musical talent. I can convince people that I can play the drums at about 45 seconds at a time. And then the jig is up. So, there you go. It depends on what you're glossing. I use the Liquitex clear gloss varnish quite a bit. If I'm doing a whole head or a big area, I use that. If I'm just doing a mouth and I want there to be a little more texture, the 5-minute epoxy is thicker. So it gives like, that makes better drool, obviously. No problem, Greg. All right, so this is one piece of wire that is ready to go. And now I need to do another piece of wire the same exact way. I think I have everything I need over here. I realized I am down to my last 9-volt battery, which this is Krampus season. That will not do. I do go through some 9-volt batteries. Oh, Rue. My goodness. I found the mold for them. Yes, I did. Nine volts are kind of expensive. I buy the big packs on Amazon, so it's not that bad. The title of the video kind of says it, Blackcraft. I'm working on a white Krampus mask. That's just on my website. You can pick white Krampus mask, and it is a Krampus with white hair. Yeah. When you get back in town, Rue, I have some work for you, buddy. We have monsters to make. All right, I have 2 leads now done. Now I need to find this guy, my battery holder. It's all good, Blackcraft. It's all good. Every now and then, it just eats the last bit of the wire instead of stripping it. But that is what it's supposed to do. It didn't do it there. I didn't reset it. There it did. Now that bit pulls off. That bit pulls off. I'm going to hit this one again. These are from Capri Tools. I was turned on to these by Steve. I've said his name wrong in the past. I'm a terrible person for that. These were turned on to me by him, and yeah, I think that they're great little strippers. I do make silicone masks on occasion. And you'd love to learn making silicone limbs. Easiest way to do that, I think, hands down, is to make a silicone mold of your own arm. You have a silicone mold of your arm. You make a jacket mold over that out of plaster bandages, like you do. You then take that off of your arm. You don't have to clean any clay out because you're not made of clay. If you are, you're a golem, and someone should open your mouth and pull out the little scroll and scratch out the word eh. That makes emet, and make it just met, which is life and death in Hebrew. Whatever. You're not a golem. Let's not worry about that step. It's complicated. But then you have a mold, a silicone mold of your arm. You take that mold, you pour monster clay into it. And once you pour monster clay into it, then you're able to make a plaster mold or a fiberglass mold of that. Take that apart, clean out the clay, because that clay arm is made of clay, and then you can pour silicone right into that mold and make as many as you want. It's a process, but you don't have to sculpt anything. It looks just like your arm, or whoever's arm you mold, I should say. Let's check. What mask is that on the far right of your door? This one? This is an elf. It's an elf. Hello, Bob. I am doing well, Bob. Thank you very much for asking. You could do silicone into a plaster mold as long as you seal it, or you could do it in a fiberglass mold. I did say plaster mold, and then I corrected myself to say fiberglass mold or a resin mold. I like making resin molds or epoxy molds. Either one. We'll check these two. I need a pair of glasses. Probably the 5th or 6th pair of glasses that I've gotten out of here since I ordered them. You can use a plaster mold, you just got to seal it. Okay, let's check and see if our red, and it works. Destiny, and that's very cool. I'm glad that you're enjoying the channel. I have 2 red ones that work. That is important to know starting out, that both of them are the same color. The next thing I have to do is we're going to have to wait on my hot glue gun to heat up. If I were smart, I would have plugged it in earlier. But I am your friend. I am not your smart friend. Now this glue gun I have labeled very clearly, black glue only. Okay. All right. This glue gun also has a switch, so not only do I have to plug it in, I got to make sure the switch is on. Are you implying that my shop is not tidy and that I need to bring in someone to clean it? Hello, I'm live.
Okay.
Are the in-laws about to go?
They're heading down. They'll
Okay.
see you on Tuesday.
Okay. Give them my love.
I will.
Tim Tams are awesome. Those things are great. Here I am, Lisa. Here I am. And John Sheffield. Hello, Kiss My Glass. It has been a while, and it's good to see you on, sir. And while I know I'm waiting on that, okay, Matthew, are you ready for my unorthodox method of getting a cracked effect paint job? It's unorthodox. I mix up plaster. I mix up just a real thin batch of thin plaster, and I paint it all over whatever I want a crackle effect on. And then paint it your base color first, like whatever you want your base color to be. Then you put on the plaster, and then I just go and I crack all the plaster, and it opens up, and some chips fall off, and then normally I'll spray paint. Depends on what I'm doing it on, but I will either spray paint. I am having an animated hand conversation with ink open with my new shirt. Put this down, or I gotta owe cobwebs $10. All right, careful. Yeah, and then once it cracks a little bit, then I'm able to paint, airbrush, spray paint, whatever, between all the cracks. And then I let that dry, and I clean the whole thing off, and I have my base color, and then I have $10, that's right, my base color, and then I have all the cracks already set up. So that is one way to do it. Yeah, or you can do it by hand or whatever. But yeah, I like masking, and the plaster is a good way to mask that sometimes. Hello, David Carter from the UK. You can paint over glue, yes, because it's something that shrinks. If it shrinks up, then yes. Scott, I have mods now. Earlier today, I had no mods. I was so lost without them. All right. Am I warm? This is not how you test to see if your hot glue gun is hot, by the way. Never do this. Yeah, that's a hot glue gun. Oh, that glue is liquidy and awesome. Yeah, that's good. Can't mod and drive. It's quiet in the shop. I don't have the air scrubbers going. No one's in here with me. It's just Quiet Alan in Quiet Alan's shop. My Tots Frankenstein mask hasn't come yet. So this is one of the reasons why I don't like to wear aprons. It's because I can't actually stop myself from doing this. And this is probably the most... This is not like a tough guy image thing to do. Nope. And I can't stop doing that. As soon as I learned that that was something I could do, I have to do it. Let's say that you didn't have to do housework, you got to do housework. Every time you do housework, what that really means is you're not homeless. So consider that a bonus, like that's a positive. Definitely a positive. Okay, I have my stabby bit. I have LEDs, I have a hot glue gun. Yes. Hiya, Kirk. Did a Kirk show up? I don't know. Is a different dimension? Oh, I'm on top chat. Am I missing a lot? Am I missing things? Live chat. Oh. Weird Kid Show. I did not see your comment. No, we are staying in for Thanksgiving. We are staying in for Thanksgiving. I think that a lot of the chat, they're just kind of talking amongst themselves, and that's okay. All right, so right now, someone post a one-word food item. Like, do it right now. And I'm going to see how long it takes it to show up in my comments. Kirk Mattia is here. Hello, Kirk. Pineapple. It just showed up in my comments. Pineapple, chicken, pie, pizza. So there's about a 30-second delay, maybe a 15, 20-second delay, something like that. Has been a while since I've seen Kirk on. So hello, pineapple. That is a one-word food, so that's pretty good. Broccoli. You're still very excited about posting food. You picked broccoli? Brandon, are you a vegetarian? I'm from Texas. I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk to you. All right. There we go. Tim Tam. Oh, now you're talking my language. Now you're just going to post food names all night. So one of the things that I used to do at Dark Hour was I'd be in character, of course. And I would go out on the stage and I would have my phone and I would go on Dark Hour's Facebook page and I would post, first one to yell the word popcorn gets a free t-shirt. And I would pull out a t-shirt and I would wait. And normally it took like 45 seconds before someone saw that pop up in their Facebook feed and would yell out popcorn, and then I would throw them a free t-shirt. But there you go. Yes, I was trying to figure out the lag. I needed a very specific thing. Hit live on the video. Yeah. See, one of the things that I want to play with one day is doing a lot of sandblasting on glass, um, and other materials. Like I put on 3 coats of pledge and I do 3 misty coats, and then I just let it go for about 10, 15 minutes, and then I mold. Yeah. More giant Allen head, less positive talk from strangers. Yeah. But anyway, 13 Ghosts, that movie, love that movie. Um, and I thought that it would be cool to kind of do a haunted house that way, where you could just do all the etchings and stuff. This pokey tool is called a FID. I love that movie. And then once I poke a little hole, I'll be able to get the wires to go through. Well, it is kind of an awl, but it's a FID because it's for leather work. And an awl is a straight stabby blade. All right, let's look at the difference. This is an awl, and its blade is all one dimension. This is a FID. This is a FID. See how it has that fat section to it? And you use this to untie knots. You can use this to undo things, but this is just real stabby. And all is just a stab. A FID is kind of meant to go in and pry and to go in and make a wider hole. You want to widen the hole, you use that sucker. Why would I not use the walnuts? Oh, thank you, Ike Camacho. I'm glad you liked the skull in Medusa tutorial. Mm, 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 mm. Very cool. I'm glad that you are going to be doing a Krampus tattoo. Was my favorite ghost from 13 Ghosts. I'm not going to say the Jackal because I think that's everyone's favorite, and you have to just have a separate one. So I liked the Junkyard one, which wasn't the Hammer. But yeah, that big monster guy. I like him. And now the wires are sticking out over here. I want as little wiring as possible in there with the actor. So I run them all to the outside. It's Rodney Pope. Hello, sir. And again, I'm going to go ahead and do the FID. Well, I like the Hammer. The big baby kind of creeped me out. Juggernaut, that's it. Aluminum oxide. That was aluminum oxide to the tune of Personal Jesus. Because the syllables worked, and that's how my brain works. Aluminum oxide. He's going to be white, not albino. Well, he will have red eyes and white hair, but I'm not going to give him pink skin or anything, so. He'll be a quasi-albino Krampus. Popcorn. Very cool. I like the Krampus movie. I thought it was very well done. I like that mix of comedy and horror, and I think that they did it very well. The horns are going to be my standard Krampus horns that I make. Yes, a fit is good for sewing. It's meant to undo like knots and things. A sailor's pocket knife would often have what they call a marlin spike. And a marlin spike is a sailor version of a fid, which is a leather worker's tool. Okay. All right, so now I have both of my eyes, and my LEDs in, I should say. And now that they're in, I want to check again. I want to check again and make sure that they work. That one worked. I seen it, and that one works. Yes, one of the things that I end up doing is, if I have been doing something strenuous on my computer, I do refresh it, restart it. Horns with thorns. Doo, 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 doo. And moving on to phase 2 here. I have a piece of 5mm foam that I'm going to use for this. That 5mm foam is a leftover from a different project. The road trip was to Alabama to drop off some costumes that I made for a haunted house over there. That's right, Grouch, copyright rules. You all are great. I am heat forming this piece of 5mm EVA to be a battery holder. So this will hold the battery on the back of this Krampus. As long as someone is willing to pay 3 times extra, I will happily make a clown nose. That is my battery holder. How can you not like Harbor Freight? That's what I'm saying, Kiss My Glass. They're just awesome. DTRT Music. Thank you very kindly. I appreciate that. I just love what I do. I'm very blessed to be able to do it. They're nice chairs, Stacy. They're nice chairs, and they still work. Glenn, you did not miss much, in my opinion. It's time for contact cement. Yeah, so here's what's funny, all right? Because of what I do, I get a lot of people who want to consult with me about their significant other's Christmas present. And right about now, and as far back as a month ago, I would get emails from ladies and Facebook messages from ladies saying, hey, my boyfriend watches you, my husband watches you. I would like to get them something for Christmas. They want an airbrush. What kind should I get? All that. Those start about a month ago. The week before Christmas, I will get all these dudes saying, hey, my wife watches your channel. I want to get her something for Christmas. Like, it's like they have no time. So, yeah, I just find that funny. Men do not plan as well as ladies. Okay, because we're slackers. Stilpy Studios Holiday Gift Guide. That is a great idea, Stacy. You jump on that. So earlier, someone wrote cobwebs, and I thought they misspelled it because my brain read cabweebs, and I can't. Every time I see cobwebs now, I see cabweebs. Cabweebs. That's awesome, Glenn. I appreciate it. So the hats on the webpage, that is Leslie who does those. Now there's headdresses, and that is Stacy. So there's all kinds of things there. Cabweebs. It's the glue. Hey, if my wife asks you about Christmas ideas, tell her about compressors. Noted. Noted. I don't think cabweebs would be a good, like, weeb is never a good name. There's no strength in it, you know? Okay. Spider cabweebs. An English butler. Lord and Lady Cabweeb. And pineapples. That's right. Good callback. Good callback, Rob O'Brien. Well done. I see. I wouldn't want to make a hammer, like a straight hammer mask, because I try not to do that. If someone saw one of my sculpts and said, "Hey, can you make it look like Hammer from 13 Ghosts?" I would do that. But yes. Cat. Is that Cat Weasel or Cat Weasel? Is it Cat Weasel? Cat Weasel sounds like it should definitely be an animal. It should be an animal. Weeb is not a strong name. It's like, no. Hey, that's amazing. I'm not that. Normally, I have gifts bought, but I'm wrapping, like Christmas Eve. Normally, I'm wrapping my wife's presents. That is awesome. So what I'm doing is I am waiting on this contact cement to dry. And one of the ways that I can tell that it's dry is it goes from having that shine to going matte. Once it goes matte here and there, then I will put them together. An old hermit and weirdo dude. Okay, noted. If this whole monster thing doesn't work out, I'm going to try being a hermit. That sounds like a profession that I could get into. Hello, Shadow Jim 81. I hope you are doing well. I'm waiting on glue to dry. That's what I'm doing. I guess I could wire stuff together. I got this, but I don't think I like it any more than what I had before. I definitely need to go to it. It's like it's too stiff. I want a little more flop. I'm good. I have no reason to complain, sir. That is faux shizzle, as Snoop Dogg would say. Savage cat weasel. So my friend John, his little nieces and nephews, they made up a villain that John played when he would play with them, and his name was Rat Snake. And I always thought that Rat Snake was a good name for like a bad guy or a monster or whatever. So one day I might make up a bad guy named Rat Snake. Not White Snake, which is a great band. And even if they aren't a great band, for a 13 and 14-year-old boy, they had great music videos. Thank you, Tawny Katane. There are times when I don't know what's happening in the chat. Like, Gandalf, you shall not pass. I haven't yet, weird kid. I haven't yet. However, I know exactly what I'm going to do now. I now know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and I'm going to buy some $5 ball peen hammers and I'm going to turn them into spiked tomahawks. I think that's a great idea. I don't know why I wouldn't. Pignorant. What a great name that is. Home Depot and Lowe's have it where I'm at. I like Kiss. I really do like Kiss. Good band. What their song God of Thunder, that's one that I will sing to give myself energy in a haunt situation. Kind of pumps you up, you know. Beanhawks? My quiet compressor is a Fortress compressor from Harbor Freight, which is actually made by California air compressors. They don't want people to know that, but that's their secret cheapo brand they sell through Harbor Freight, is the Fortress air compressor. Feel my... Grumpy, take a break. Watch a little of me. Watch me screw stuff up, and then you'll feel better about whatever you're screwing up. I think that mine is a 2-gallon. I believe that is correct. Kiss has a lot of great songs. From Cold Gin to God Gave Rock and Roll to You, Strutter. Great. I am in Texas. due to our wacky weather, we may have more sealant, caulking, weatherproofing products than some other places. I don't know. I even like the disco, like Paul Stanley solo album. Like there's good stuff on there, man. No, your man is working hard. He's worth a deuce. Okay, so weird kid. I love knives and weapons. Where did that come from? Like, is that part of a different conversation in chat? Or are you just kind of outing yourself as possibly a serial killer? Strutta! Yeah, that's good. Epaulets do suck. Like, epaulets just suck in general. How are you making your epaulets? Hello, Horror Beauty. Yeah, Beth is pretty good. You want to slow it down. Oh, anvil. Got it. Anvil. Yes, that is a thread. Yes, you're right. See, things move fast, man, and I don't always keep up because when you are this pretty, it's hard to be smart too. I'm just saying. Now, I think that for the record, that was a joke. And now this is what happened this is what should happen with contact cement. You push it on and then it's glued, and that should stay. This whole thick mask is being held up by that new glue job I just did on it. And it's on there, okay? If your contact cement doesn't stick right away, then you're doing it wrong. Stop it, read the can, and start over. Cobwebs, I enjoy in your videos when you thunk a big knife into the table. I, too, collect knives and swords. So, yes, hashtag glue job. Exactly. I don't know if I'd Google that, but yes. Felt a little schmertz in there that needs to be trimmed. Sometimes the latex will drip from one particular point, and that drip you can just trim off because you know that on you would not be very comfortable. Don't know who trimmed this, but they don't want people to hear, so they didn't trim the ears out. Might have been me. I get distracted. I think most guys have like a knife and sword problem. I think it's just something that we're drawn to. And I think I think it's a little bit like genetic memory. I hate to say that, but I really do. I think that for a long time they were so important to us, and now they're not as important to us, but we still like genetically want them for some reason. Well, I figured you did, Anthony. Kind of your hobby. Also, I really like wooden boxes. Doesn't matter if it looks like a treasure chest or for a long time there was these real detailed ones that were like a reddish brown color wood, and sometimes they had like mother of pearl inlaid in floral patterns. They looked very Middle Eastern or something. But I love any kind of a nice wooden box. So, not sure about that. And I'm just going to hit this battery pouch with a little bit more contact cement, and that's going to go onto the foam, and that's going to make the paint that I use stick to the foam a lot better. Yeah, I think guys like wooden boxes. It's a thing. For some reason, guys like wooden boxes and girls like baskets. I don't know. I don't understand. Thank you, Gary. Gary, two names. Yes, a nice wooden box, a well-built box. Yes, it makes us very happy. I don't know why, but it does. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do like wooden boxes also. They're just nice boxes, you know. It's nice. A heart-shaped box. That's interesting. I like turtles in wooden boxes filled with knives. That's funny. Lamps. Okay. Do you like one lamp or do you like lamps in general? Is there an S missing on that dead end? And while I'm waiting on that contact cement to dry, I have this piece, which is my battery clipper thinger. And I am able to, or I should be able to, get these guys all together. Tapered candles and cool paper. That's cool. Cardboard boxes. Misty, I'm going to request that you aim your eyes to something more permanent. Like cardboard boxes are cool. Yes, they're cool. However, like it's hard to make something that's going to last out of a cardboard box. I absolutely abhor making anything costume-wise out of cardboard because of how not permanent it is. It is quiet with my air scrubbers off, but I'm not doing a lot of painting right now, and I haven't gone around to turn them on, so I will. Just haven't right now. Oh, the shop was so eerily quiet the first day I turned them off in like a couple of months. It was cray-cray. That's crazy. That's kid lingo. That's how the kids say it. Straight cuts. Did you watch the video? Like I just did a video on this that was released Wednesday, Jekyll and Hyde. Straight cuts. Do not angle the cuts. 90 degrees. The only place I angle the cut is the last 4 or 5 inches or so of the tip of the horn, because then you need a place for that material to go. Well, Stan and I do them a little bit differently. I have a moderate preference to my method, but I also have a preference to someone else doing work that I don't have to do. Therefore, the way he does it is awesome, because I don't have to do it. How do you like that logic? You know what? Bed liner, like a Linex, that is some really cool stuff. I've actually considered getting the license for that and all, and learning how to do it professionally. Um, Not because I want to do anything with truck beds, whatever, but I know that you can spray that into like a silicone mold and pull out like armor. Like that's a thing down the road, man. That's gonna happen. Okay, so yeah, what I do is the wire is in a thermoplastic shell. Once I twist it all together, I put it back in a thermoplastic shell. They're all twisted together. I put my glue gun over the end of it and I squeeze it and pull it out. I know, but I think cobwebs, I'm pretty sure that in the first year you'd make that in sales at Transworld. I'm pretty sure of it. No. Stan's ways. Here's what matters. It matters that when I plug this battery up, that it works. And I probably should not have glued over my connection until I saw that it worked. Those are from Amazon. Those blue Dremels, and they are. The company name is Wen, W-E-N. They're the cheapest rotary tool on Amazon. Wen, W-E-N. Yes, I have made things out of bed sheets, but normally it's like a bed sheet, like fabric mache. Are my eyes? Tell me my eyes are on. Yes, both eyes are on. Yeah, I really think that there's a huge market for that because of how the durability of the product, cobwebs. It's also possible that I have been oversold in the durability of the product. Yeah, I really think that it has some real possibilities as far as, but yeah, the setup is expensive. But I think it can and should be done at some point in time. That's one of my lottery projects, is to get that setup done. So this Wolfman was a trade. I traded Mikey Severe. He's another mask making friend of mine. And if you don't know his stuff, check him out. His stuff's excellent. Mikey Severe. I traded him my Wolfman 2020 blank for his werewolf blank. So the utility knot. Oh, that is a Roberts. It's a carpet cutter. It's Roberts carpet cutter. Roberts is the brand name. Sorry, I thought you summon him. You say the word sheet ghost 3 times. And then Jordan pops up. And then we get to talk to Jordan. It's like Edson. If we say Beetlejuice 3 times, Edson shows up. Yeah, I kind of want that system, cobwebs. But I don't do enough, you know what I mean, to warrant it. And the last thing that I need is another business. Thanks, Scott. Hello, Scarecrow77. Yes, I am live again. I don't want to do vehicles. I don't want to do anything on the side Like I don't want any more sides. I have so many sides. I don't want any more. No more. No more working. No. Slow my roll. Uh, MHC and Trans World are the big ones, Derek. Those are the big ones for sure. Just holding down this hot glue. Like it's not burning my hand or anything. It's really not. I turned it down. When I first turned the gun on, it was on 450 because I forgot that Stacy was using it and she needed it super melty. And then I turned it back down to like 300. 300, barely feel that on my skin. Of like the front. Like I got it on like in here. I'm warm. Okay, so now I have a holder. I'm lit up. See, I'm lit up. And now I have to get some horns, some ho-rens. And somewhere I have a box of horns. That is a box of horns, but it's a different box of horns. This is a whole batch of horns that Rue made before he got stuck in Minnesota. It's from work mostly. Yeah, it's all from work. It's just I do a lot of. It's like kind of like a cook, you know. Eventually, you know, you burn your hands, or they just get immune to the heat. That just it's calluses. I'm gonna give these guys an angle, so they kick back a little more, and an angled cut also. Will give me more surface area to glue down. Azuzu Riot, throw back a bottle of beer. I do not know exactly where, I'm afraid, where Rue is. Wait. No, it's gone. There's a body of water that normally goes by initials. Does that sound right? I was going outside, but I brought in everything that I bought today at Harbor Freight. So I don't have to go outside. So most of the foam that I get, Sons of Wayne, this mask is sold. It's no longer my battery. And I assume they'll put in a new one. I like working with the eyes on. That way, in case anything happens, like if a wire gets disconnected or if I do something stupid, I'll see it. So I do that through the whole process. Where do I get my foam from? So I get my foam from a couple places. Amazon, Foam Mart, and Harbor Freight. All those places I'll get foam from. Depends on exactly what kind. This is from Amazon. What these horns are made out of, that's from Amazon. Simply because it's the best deal. Yeah, I get floor mats, but I buy, I think it's 200 square feet of floor mat at a time. And then that bulk price gives me a deal. Comes in big boxes. Yes, you can make Maleficent horns with it. Renee, how can you get a mask made, man? Send me a message at stiltbeaststudios@gmail.com and we can get started. That is how I do commissions. It's normally through email. That way everything that I said is written down, everything that you said is written down. And then we all know and we can refer back to it. That's the easiest way to do it. What kind of mask are you looking for? I'm doing a bevel cut on the inside of this horn so that I can heat it up and then it'll give me a little bit more surface area to glue down. Bevel cut. Yeah, Foam Mart is where I get like the custom thickness stuff. And you know what? I also buy now from TNT Cosplay Supply, which is a Texas company. I just ordered from them recently. So it all depends on exactly what kind of foam. And my foam rubber, I buy from American Foam Rubber in downtown Dallas because they are a supply company for upholsterers. It's an upholstery supply company. So Scotty Too Hottie, that's not something we talk about on this channel. We're not like an adult channel. And the answer is no, I don't. Many others do. But I think you'll do better looking for that product on more private channels. Scotty, if you insist on continuing to talk about this, I'm going to probably have you blocked. I hate to say that, but yeah. Lots of youngsters watch this channel. There we go. That's my email. Perfect. Gregory, that's awesome. I'm glad you're back for 3 whole days. I will probably go about 8:30, 9 o'clock, it looks like. 8:30, 9 o'clock. Are the Andorians, like, I'm not a Star Trek guy, forgive me. Are they the blue ones with the antenna that move? Or are they the blue people with the antennas? Is that them? Now I gotta look up what an Andorian looks like. Oh, okay. I kind of know what they look like. I know they're blue. Our Beauty, I am sorry to hear that, ma'am. The upside is that a lot of suck gets lumped together in with 2020. 2020 is going to be over. Does that mean things won't suck? No, it doesn't. Does that mean everything is going to magically get better? No. But I think that there is a good bit of pain and ugliness that we'll be able to put to bed with 2020. And then we just focus on what we got in front of us. Derek, I'm not sure. I'd have to give that a shot. Contact cement would be my first guess, but I'd also probably try to break down the carbon fiber. It's pretty slick, so you might want to mar it to give it some bite. And does it have to flex? Well, foam is going to flex, so I don't think I would try a physical connection if possible. I understand that we're all having a very serious conversation, and Horror Beauty, I fully respect what's going on in your life. But man, I love how badass this guy looks with LED eyes lit up. That's just so cool. I'm sorry, I like monsters, and this makes me really happy. Yeah, like that's sweet, sweet. Yeah, send me a picture of what you want. That would be cool. But yeah, try. I mean, we have a new year coming up. I know that hasn't been Thanksgiving yet. It hasn't been Christmas yet. But when the world is so weird, it's easy to focus on, let me get to New Year's. It's easy to focus on what's ahead. And I think that we're going to be able to bury some ugliness and some pain. Paul Bennett, surface area. I want more surface area to attach to the mask. And that's going to give me a great bond. Okay, so I have a couple mods on. Someone blocked Scotty Too Hottie. Get them out of here. We're not for that. Where are my mods? Can my mods do that? I'll do it. I'll try. Make sure you're not on. Make sure you're on live chat, Stacy, and not top chat. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you wanna get yourself going quick. That's the best way to do it. I am making a a Krampus mask. It'll be a white-haired Krampus mask. It depends on what the mask is, Renee. It all depends. So it all just depends on what it is, and we'll talk through email. But I mean, if I have a sculpt that already works, and then it's just a custom paint and some additions, then that's going to be cheaper. But you'll be in the 200 to, depending on how crazy you want to go, 200 to 450, 550, something like that. It all depends. But I try to keep it as low as I can. Thanks, Robert White. If I cooked cookies, possibly, but I don't. Hold on, eggnog, hot chocolate? I am intrigued. I gotcha. We can work on that. I feel the same way, Harvey Beauty. I like eggnog. I like hot chocolate. I don't know where I feel about them both. So, Monty, in the beginning, I offered like 16 different colors of LED eyes, and all anyone wanted was red. So now, I just make them red unless they ask for something else. It would be very cool if you posted your recipe, sir. Thank you very much. The trip was good. Trip was great. Okay, so now, once again, I have hornos that are on and attached and ready. I am definitely going to go ahead and hit these horns with liquid nails right now while they're vulnerable. Actually, I'm going to do it while they're before I hair, and then while the liquid nails is drying, I will airbrush him and I will get his painting done. So there you go. But first, you guys are going to stare deeply into his eyes. You guys are going to have a staring contest because I have to tinkle, and no one is here to tell you a story. It'll be a very fast tinkle, I swear. Things are fine. Things are going well. No problems here. Okay. I did wash my hands. Yeah, see, I shouldn't be alone. That's where we have ghost stuff happen. You're absolutely right. Okay, so, what was I doing? Oh yeah, liquid nails. I'd say it really depends on the size of the snake that I'm doing. It depends on the size of the snake. Small snake, I might use like a bath scrubby undone, or tulle fabric. Or bigger snake, fishing net. Bigger still, fishnet pantyhose. They all work, but the scales have to be in proportion. I test it on my hand to make sure it's hot. Well, do you want a robed Krampus Horror Beauty, or do you want a furry Krampus? There are two distinct styles now. Robed, kind of fancier, a little less wild looking. And yeah, liquid nails, that's what I need. I got some of that over there. I needed a brush. I have my squeezerator is over there. Okay, so traditional is hairy, and the traditional Krampus also has one hooved foot and one regular foot. I know that's a little weird, but they do. It's just, it also has a soul patch. Like, I really like the sculpt. It's very different. See a little soul patch on there? That's very interesting. I like it. It's fun. Yeah, that Wolfman Werewolf is from Mikey Severe. I traded him a Wolfman 2020 blank. I hear you there, Horror Beauty. I hear you there. Well, that's just a pattern that I put in after, and yes, I have done the spiral going up the horns. It's a pattern that I put in after with a comb. And as far as materials go, like liquid nails is cheap, so it's not like it's a big deal to, to coat it. Liquid nails is not expensive. This guy is great. This is the HDX one from Home Depot. The only thing I don't like is I don't like the design of how this poker is in there, because you're almost guaranteed to glue it in its spot as soon as you use something like an adhesive. So other than that, I really like the design of this. Yes. So what I do, in order to use only part of it, yes, there's female Krampuses. In order to use part of the tube, just let it come up out the end a little bit like that and mash it down. So what happens then is that this air dries and that becomes a plug. Pop it out and just keep going. I'm just going to hold that on the end there. And where it's thin, it's kind of like, it's not already drying, but it's close. Yes, I'm using the regular liquid nails. Well, I use the liquid nails heavy duty. This is my preferred liquid nails heavy duty. I've also used the paneling adhesive. I've used a lot of them, but I much prefer just liquid nails heavy duty. I'm also not down with a sexy Krampus, but if remember the horror movie The Unnameable, that was very much a female monster and very much terrifying. Didn't make it sexy, but it had a beauty about it, but it also looked like it was going to eat you, which, was awesome. No one wants a sexy Krampus. Well, that's probably not true, but skeletons with boob bones. I have not seen that. Paul Bennett is correct. This should take about 30 minutes. And I put on a good bit, and you see, though, I'm spreading it around. I have made horns almost the size of the ones of Darkness from Legend, and $330 later, shipping, just shipping. I know why I don't do that very often. I have made horns using pool noodles. The problem is it's hard to glue pool noodles to anything except pool noodles. So the horns come out fine, but then you have issues attaching them, which is always something you have to consider. And I have all of this left over. So instead of wasting it, I'm just going to go ahead and start coating another horn that I know I'm going to use eventually, probably tomorrow, with any excess liquid nails from here. Good night, Scott Creighton. Sleep well and dream of large women. For the record, that was a quote from Princess Bride. I wasn't making fun of any large women. People might not know that that's a movie quote, and I should probably tell them. When he knocks out Andre the Giant, never mind. You had to be there. I think it looks better. Is it necessary? No. I could just paint these, but it hides, like that's where the seam is, and that seam is gone, obviously. So it's kind of nice. I'm just saying. Princess Bride is my favorite movie of all time. Hands down, easily my favorite movie of all time. There's monsters in it, there's sword fighting in it, Andre the Giant is in it. It's just nice. Inconceivable. All right, so that horn is drying. Let me grab a scraper tool in order to put some grooves on this. I have not seen A Fantastic Fear of Everything. I don't even think I've heard of it. Alexa, add Fantastic Fear of Everything to my shopping list.
Fantastic Fear of Everything added.
Rachel, I don't believe they exist. It does, you are correct. I have on several occasions when I'm negotiating with someone, I have said the quote of, "Offer me money, offer me fame, offer me anything I want. I want my father back, you son of a bitch." Yeah. I have a video on making RUSs on my channel. It's probably 10, 12 years old, but yes, I have made RUSs. I love that movie. It's a good movie. Also, the sword fight between Inigo and Dread Pirate Roberts. Um, we did a homage to that fight on one of my Ren Fair sword fights, me and my friend Scott. And that's one of my favorite fights I've ever done. Sorry, Monty. There are so many great quotes from that movie. Isn't House 2, isn't that the one that Big Ben is in? Anybody want the peanut? This is a very expensive tool that you can only get from a sculpting supply house. No, I made this just now. Yes, only white hair. And someone mentioned putting the spiral pattern on the horn with the liquid nails. Well, I don't do it with liquid nails. I do it after in the liquid nails. So I still have the up and down fibrous texture. But I also have this. Thank you, Renee. Hello, pretty lady. The Greatest American Hero was a great show. I don't know that those are related, but yes. That and Fall Guy at that time were my favorites. Come on, bring it. Bring it, Ezekiel, bring it. That's my favorite movie. It's fun. It's not even like that badly dated, even though it was made in the 80s. This is the standard texture. This is normal. I'll either do this or I'll just do it. I'll leave it straight like this. I do both of those. Fall Guy. Now you have to figure out these go this way, so these have to go this way. Oof. Fall Guy had the best theme song. I do like Greatest American Heroes theme song, but I'm going to say Fall Guy is my favorite TV show theme song. I'll throw that down right now. I have no idea what you can watch it on. You know what? Fantasy Island, I was kind of hot and cold on that. If they had something cool on it, like monsters or whatever, and you never knew if it was completely supernatural, like it was a little bit non-committal for me. I know that they just like made a new one, but apparently no one watched that. So, like not even 7. I liked $6 Million Man, but not as much as I liked Fall Guy. Because like he was just a stuntman. Like I couldn't become the $6 Million Man unless there were like surgeries. But I could be a stuntman. Okay, we have horns with texture. Kolchak the Night Stalker. I also kind of wanted to be Knight Rider. I'm sure you're shocked. Okay, so now I have to do some airbrushery. But let's paint his teeth and stuff first. Sadly, I kind of was one of the Duke boys. That's the problem. That's why I've reached such low goals. That was not far from what my youth options were, you know. Yes, A-Team is one of the reasons why I have a van. Also, I have DHS, which is a very serious condition, Dukes of Hazzard syndrome. And what that means is, anytime I'm on a gravel road, I want to drive faster than I should. I want to speed down gravel roads. That's called DHS, Dukes of Hazzard syndrome. Yes, a lot of old TV is kind of hard to watch now. Speaking of kind of hard to watch, I'm about to paint some stuff. Hey now, let's keep that Godzilla in place. Okay, so I did not like MASH. Like, MASH was not... Two TV shows I hated as a kid, MASH and Taxi. Like, their theme songs would come on and I would cry. I just didn't like them. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I remember the Disney Scarecrow. The Love Boat. Yeah, like that was when the Love Boat. It was afternoon for me when it came on, or it was like early evening. So I was always outside. Captain Caveman. That. Okay, now a lot of times I'll say, "Hey, that was my nickname in high school," but that was. I played crease defense in lacrosse, and I would yell Captain Caveman whenever I was about to get a clean, beautiful hit on someone. The way that he would yell it, holding his club aloft. Because crease defense, you know, I had a 6-foot lacrosse stick. Here is where I don't like having the LEDs on because they're shooting right in my eyes. Could I turn them off? Yes. But then I wouldn't have anything to complain about. Theme song to Barney Miller. I didn't like that show either. John C., I just read your comment. Funny. El Kabong. Yes. MacGyver, obviously, I was a fan of that. May have been an influence on me. Oh boy. See, now y'all are on a 70s, 80s TV kick, and I can't keep up with the comments. I was doing so well. Spray paint on horns will flake off. If it's EVA foam, then you want to prime them with a mix of xylene and contact cement. If you put contact cement or spray adhesive on the horns first, then it will, the spray paint will stick no problem. The Waltons. I want more monsters than that. Nowhere near enough monsters in there. I didn't like Miami Vice. Oh, and you know another show that I hated was like Heat. What was it called? Heat. And it was Archie from All in the Family, but he was a cop. He was a sheriff. Something about heat. And I didn't like that show either. I didn't watch the Croft Super Show. I just like to make sure it's working. Horror Beauty. As long as it's on, I know they're working. Because, you know, sometimes if I'm cutting hair or whatever, what if I snip a wire? I want to make sure that I can see if I mess it up. I never got into Ren and Stimpy, didn't like it. Red Dwarf was fun, but the comedy went over my head because I was a kid. I've seen season 1. I'll start season 2 Thanksgiving weekend. In the Heat of the Night. I didn't. Yes, that was the name of it. I didn't like that. Max Headroom was interesting. Thank you, Horror Beauty. Yeah, I'm with you, Ezekiel. Stab my eyes out. All right, so Paul Bennett. I have a theory that Three's Company, the TV show, every plot in Three's Company is also the plot of a Jane Austen movie, or book, I guess I should say, because it's always about someone overhears part of a conversation, and then they make these wild assumptions based off of that, and then sadness, anger, and hilarity ensue. So whenever someone says Three's Company, I now think of Jane Austen, because my wife watches a lot of Jane Austen movies, and it's all like a episode of Three's Company to me. Like, if you people would just have a conversation, you wouldn't even have any problems. Sequest DSV, a little later on, but yes, it was good. They did talk about Fantasy Island. I was way too young to find soap funny. Spray paint will not flake off of liquid nails. No, it is paintable. Hello, Brandon Marshall. Good to see you on. Jason the Wheeled Warriors. Yes, Wheeled Warriors. I love that show. That's one of my favorite cartoons. And Tales of the Dark Side. Yes, of course. Well, I had to watch these movies with my wife, and then I'm like, if they would just have a conversation, this is like Three's Company, and it always angered me at Three's. Just ask the person, go talk to them. I haven't seen I haven't seen any Doctor Who. I'm not a sci-fi person. I'm a monster person. Are there monsters in Doctor Who? Yes, but they're aliens, so it doesn't count. Thank you, Scott Colhart. I was never into comedies, so I did not like Sanford and Son. Quantum Leap was good TV. Yes. We're talking, and I just have to sit here and look at comments. I got a monster that's not being made because I'm trying to catch up. Joanne, that show sounds terrible. Yes, Tom and Jerry. I sold it, Lita. It was a Bigfoot mask, and I don't collect masks. I don't make them to. They're tools. I make them to use them, and I make them for haunted houses. Anybody remember a TV show called Voyage of the Golden Monkey or something about a golden monkey? It's a TV show. It was awesome. I loved it. That was one of my, it was like very Indiana Jones ripoff. Poor Lita. She's like, can we talk about masks again, please? Aliens don't count. Aliens are not monsters. They're aliens. They're a separate thing. Odds are they're just doing their alien stuff. I was too young for Banana Splits, mostly. Thundercats was good, but I preferred Silverhawks to Thundercats. Tales of the Golden Monkey. Loved that show. I'm caught up. I'm caught up. I'm not wearing my glasses because getting a red LED directly in the eye while wearing glasses, I think, would suck worse than having it happen without wearing glasses. That's the kind of deductive reasoning that you guys watch this channel for. Boris has come to say hi. Boris. 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 Hello, buddy. Hello, Boris and Cheney. I just put the wrong end of the brush in my mouth. Gross. Hello, doggos. I'm gonna be working on Thanksgiving, so I'll be here. I did put the paint end in my mouth. Yeah, that happened. Inhumanoids was a great cartoon and toy line. I did. I ate some paint. It's good for you. That's how I know it's got flavor. You know what? And I enjoyed the TV show Friday the 13th that had nothing to do with the movie series Friday the 13th. Thank you, Erica America. You're so positive and helpful. Thank you. This is my like standard base Krampus. And from here, you can go crazy doing details and that kind of stuff. Yes, I'll definitely be making my turkey into a monster turkey. Well, I don't think I have any pink in my beard. I wouldn't be surprised if I did, but... Okay, now it's airbrush time again. I have purple left in here. The tool that I used to make the groove in the horns was a tongue depressor with plastic Q-tip rods taped onto it. It is somewhere around here. If you rewind a bit, you can watch me make it. All monsters should look hungry. I think that's important. Make sure to get ink on my face. Okay. So yeah, I want to brown, put some brown in my airbrush. Linda, if the women don't find you handsome, at least they should find you handy. I learned that one. Of course, as I've been good all night, and now I start making fart noises with the airbrush, and that's when my wife walks in. Hi, honey.
Hi. How appropriate. Please, don't let me disturb you.
Let's do a shirt check.
Shirt check.
Shirt's clean, kids. Shirt is clean.
Wearing it different.
I'm wearing it because it's a new shirt.
Oh.
Everyone is saying hello, wife.
Hello?
There are 126 people on, and for a while there, we were talking about 70s and 80s TV, and I just had to give up. I was not able to keep up with comments.
Okay.
We don't have to go back to there. Now, I gotta get some brown ink.
What came in this package? Oh, filters, the other one.
When did I get it?
Yesterday.
Ink? I don't know. Brown ink and airbrush farts. That's right, guys. That's right.
Make sure I'm on. Wrong.
I raised my chair up for the airbrushing. Hello, Bionica 12. I haven't seen you on in a while. It's good to see you. You may have been on, but I just didn't see it because I don't always get to see the comments.
Okay. Ezekiel.
The boss is here. No more fart jokes.
Okay. Alright. Set up and go. Heavy is the head that wears the mask with the big horns, says
You know what?
Chris.
These really are not that heavy. I know that it would seem like they would be, but they're not. The EVA forms are not very heavy at all.
Shell's having coffee plus tonight. Diane Variel says good evening. Chris Clinton says it's awesome. Paul Bennett, good thing I hear silent no fart. I'm sure you know I will say something. Our beauty, talking to Paul. Ezekiel, Shannon, apparently hot chocolate eggnog is a thing. Have you heard of it? Recipe of the creepers. I have heard of it, Ezekiel. I have not tried it.
Color switch has gone well. Now I can move on to airbrush.
Whose Krampus is this?
I don't want to say out
Okay.
like in person, but it's for the same person as that Jack Frost.
You know, in 2 hours?
maybe their wife doesn't know that they ordered it, and I don't want to get them in trouble.
You worry a lot.
I do.
You do.
I don't know what's going on.
It's not for you to worry about. That's what you tell me. Right? You really can't. Susan says it might be a Christmas present. I
It
suppose
might be.
that's possible.
I take your privacy very, very seriously, guys.
Hey, Gregory Haynes. Hey, Scott Colhart. Rodney Pope says, thank you, Alan.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want his wife to know that he ordered $500 worth of stuff. See, here's what's funny, okay? Because Shannon is, she handles a lot of business. So I have to embezzle money from myself when I want to buy her Christmas presents and have her not know about it. I have to tuck money away so that I have enough money to buy her Christmas presents without it showing up on a card and now she's all up in PayPal because for the business, so I can't even hide it there. So yeah. When you love your wife enough to embezzle money from yourself to make sure that she has Christmas surprises.
Joanna Crowley says, paper route.
I already make enough money. I have enough money to buy her. She knows about that money. I don't have secret money.
Brandon Ferretti says, hot chocolate eggnog is good stuff. David Quintana says, you are both blessed. Thank you, David. Thank you.
I feel blessed. That's my wife of 16 years now. 16 years she's been putting up with my junk. You can't resist it, and you must touch the liquid nails to see if it's dry, then do it in the back. It's not dry, but it has a little bit of a skin on it.
Horror Beauty. So, Alan, idea for both types of Krampus costume, pros and cons. Hoof feet, have you done them before?
Yes. Almost all the Krampuses that I play are on stilts. So with me, they would be a stilt covering. But yes, I've done them. Rue actually does a really good Krampus, and he does the Digigrade stilts. His design is pretty good. And hoofed feet.
You've done hoof covers.
Hoof feet, I think, are better than just regular monster feet, simply because most of those things make your feet just bigger and too big, which leads to a little bit of clumsiness. A lot of times you have to get rid of any toes on the inside because you're going to hit that against the heel of the other foot. We are not very aware of how we walk, and design with great care, something that you're going to walk in for a length of time. I know that you guys were talking earlier about the high-heeled hoof feet. Those are great unless you want to walk in them for more than 2 to 4 hours. Because 2 to 4 hours is kind of about the max anybody does. They're good for cosplay, where you can walk around on your feet and then pop up for pictures. But in a haunt setting or a Krampus walk where you're serious about it and you want to have a character sustained for a length of time, I would not go that route. So there you go.
Riot Demon wants to know, how was your anniversary?
We drove back from Alabama. We got home at like just before 8 p.m. and
Fell over.
Shannon put a Chicago pizza. Thank you, Ezekiel, for
Thank you, Ezekiel.
for our anniversary dinner.
That was awesome.
Shannon put that in the oven, and we had that. And I got to eat it in my underwear, which is my favorite way to eat anything. Yeah, so we drove 11 hours on our anniversary to get home. Worth it. Yeah. So, but you know what? I spent 11 hours with my wife, so that's cool. That's not a bad anniversary.
David Quintana says, I've been with mine for 37 years. Rodney Hopes was 28 years yesterday.
Wow, that's awesome.
Barbara Saletti, 44 years into a life sentence for me and my hubby. Brandon Freddy, 21 years with mine. That's awesome, you guys. Chad Smith, didn't you make a mask with removable horns using magnets?
I did. Not magnets, no. It was a socket system where I made a socket on the mask with EVA foam that fit inside of the horn, and then they had to glue it when it got to them. That's all.
Let them know what day our anniversary is for the rest.
November 20th was our anniversary.
Ezekiel's 19th anniversary is coming up the 30th of November. Deonica 12 says, well, it's a cleaner way to eat.
Yeah.
Celeste Kitty said, I would pull doubles dancing wearing 9-inch heels. Hook heels or child's play after that. Ezekiel
Hooray.
says, underwear pizza eating. What a life we have. Edson, 28 years, married to the same lady. It's a beautiful lady. Keep it up, kids. Kathy Coleman, 14 years for me and mine this week on the 25th.
That's very cool.
Digital Nucleus, hello.
Hello.
This is always late, but loving those horns.
It's all good.
Thank you, Brandon Marshall. Hey, Brandon.
Wife, thanks for coming over and reading
You're
comments.
welcome. I had to take care of some business before I did. Get the parentals going. So, yeah, Krampus Lad, Digital Nucleus, and Brandon Marshall said hello. Horror Beauty. Congratulations, couples. In the meantime, I can't even get a date.
Well, that just means that you have standards is all.
Chad's
Obviously, my wife has very low standards. Here I am.
punished for another one.
Yeah.
This year was our 20th, says Chad Smith.
Very cool.
Good night, Monty Freak.
Good night, sir. White. This is a white Krampus.
White is very popular. Ezekiel, Creeper's Matchmaker. Let's get Horror Beauty a date. Surely knows some awesome people there.
I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Lee Richardson says, happy anniversary. Thank you. Rotten Monster, thank you so much for giving me advice on the mask today. I'm working on that mouth right now.
Oh, very good.
Brandon Marshall, can't wait for the next Monster Camp. We were talking about that today, Brandon.
Yeah, trying to get it all figured out.
Hope you can be there. We love your Krampus. John
Yeah.
C., I'm having a hot chocolate with eggnog and vanilla.
Sweet, yo.
David Quintana is singing, I'm dreaming of a white Krampus. Just like the ones I used to know. He's singing.
I don't have to.
You don't have to. I'm sorry, Rachel. She says, I had 17 and he walked away. When and if I do it again, that will be the last. Horror Beauty, what is the most popular color for Krampus?
This year it's white. White is big.
Yeah, everybody likes white.
And now traditionally, I think it's a brown or a gray. But this year, as far as my orders go, lots of white. And I think that the white just photographs better. I love white hair on anything, you know. A white-haired werewolf looks cool. White hair on Yetis look cool. I have to grab some hair juice.
Okay.
Someone asked about this earlier. This is dried. See, I pushed it out, then I kind of pushed it down. That made a little plug. Now I pull the plug, and I'm flowing again. That easy, that simple.
Ravens Rat 888. How about a Krampus mask with icicles?
I have done it. Every now and then I get asked for a frosty Krampus, and I just do it. Yeah.
It's really pretty. Poor Horror Beauty. She mentioned she can't get a date and they're all over.
Oh yeah, now they're coming out of the woodwork.
Oh, poor. Don't leave her alone. She's gonna have to lock the door. Ezekiel says, I'm dreaming of a white Krampus in my best Bing Crosby voice. Maybe a good choice for this year's Wreck a Carol. That would be great. You've been on a few times tonight. Or today, haven't you? You went
Right.
earlier, right?
Mm-hmm. Who?
Your in-laws tuned in to see how that works and were very interested in the fact that people could talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Night, Misty.
Had one goober on, but we booted him.
Earlier today or tonight?
This feed actually. And our freedom of speech buddy popped on.
Leonard?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, Leonard Wolf. And I saw him on, and he said something free speech, and I'm like, yes, free speech, great. And then I said hi, asked him how he was doing, and then he didn't say anything else. And that's good though, because I didn't have any other mods on, so I just don't want to make it uncomfortable for anybody who's watching. I think that's the goal. Everybody should be comfortable.
Good night, Brandon.
Good night, Brandon.
Brandon Marshall. Krampus Lab.
Oh, yeah, I know Brandon Marshall is. I have a hard time not calling him Woozle's Butcher Clown. But other than that, yeah, I know exactly who that is.
Hey, Ron. Ron Sheps is on.
Hey, Ron.
Was the battery holder foam?
Yeah, TVA phone. Yep. And thanks for reminding me. I want to hit that with black right now so it goes black. Because once it goes black, it hides better in the hair.
Rob? Rob O'Brien?
Yes, my wife has come to save me from drowning in comments.
David Simo's friend.
You ain't lying.
Cat, he just molded the foam over the battery using the heat gun trick.
Correct.
You knocked out a lot today.
I have. It's been a good day in the shop.
So did you say you had to go to get more latex tomorrow? Or sometime this week?
Tomorrow's Monday?
Tomorrow's Monday.
I'll probably just go tomorrow.
I would try not to be on the road Wednesday.
Day before Thanksgiving?
Correct. Ezekiel says, I can send you more Tim Tam. Oh, he's talking to Horror Beauty. He can send her Tim Tams. Hey, Mike. Mike Chesnowski, did you make a video of wolf paws?
I think I've been making gloves during lives, but I don't think I have done a specific video on my claw gloves. No.
Anthony Pantano's working on a shield project. I'll post pictures of the one I did for the SCA and the one I'm doing for a new group I joined.
What's the new group you're in?
Bianca 12 says, have a good evening, more puppy videos.
Hooray, puppy vidges.
Christina McDaniel, is there a minimum age for Monster Camp?
They have to be able to hold focused attention for 12 hours. I find that is about 14, 15 years old.
But if you're under 18, you gotta have a parent or a guardian with you.
Yeah. Parent or guardian has to be here.
Not drop them off and pick them up.
Right.
It's to be here in an observer position. So,
It is important for me to legally be able to punch anyone who's in the shop.
so Christina, let's say 18.
And I'm not allowed to legally punch a minor, but I can punch their parent or guardian.
SK says hi. Hi, SK.
Hello, SK.
SK Austin. Linda Snyder, some Krampuses have 4 horns instead of 2.
Just like this one over here that I'm working on.
Chad Smith, do you usually do a Black Friday sale, and are you going to do one this year? I was told I should consider it, but I don't think I'm going to.
I normally do not because I'm so busy this time of year. Like right now, it's like I have to start telling people, hey, put the brakes on. I don't have time to get this to you before Christmas. You know, so that's something that we have to worry about too, is that I don't have the production time, you know. I should be able to catch up with my orders this weekend and still have time to do orders that are Christmas presents.
Ezekiel says my son could do with a few Allen uppercuts right now. If only I could send him over. Oh Lord, no.
Man, one thing I enjoy, it's punching children.
Anthony,
But that's illegal, so.
Anthony Pantano says, Knights of the North, they are less harsh in hitting, so hard, and they are much nicer. They care about you, and I get to use steel swords instead of rattan sticks.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I think that there is a bit of overcompensation that happens where they're using the rattan, so they try to just beat the snot out of you. And a lot of those are heavier than the historical weapon counterpart would have been. So it's more abusive to your body.
Ron says he likes the 4-horned Krampus. Mike
Thanks.
Chesnowski, 39 years worth it. That's awesome. Brian Shaughnessy, you do awesome work.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Horror Beauty, I like that with 4 horns.
Isn't that fun?
The Haunt Dermot, say hello.
Hello, Haunt Dermots.
Paul Bennett, some Krampus have like deer horns. Deer-like horns.
I have antlers, yes. I do antlers on some. I got to make an antler Krampus here shortly.
Celeste Kitty says she's trying to eat healthier. She's making beef and broccoli and rice.
Sounds awesome.
Masato K says they're always an awesome Krampus. Hello, Masato K.
Masato K. Ba ba ba. I don't know why that just happened,
I don't either,
and I
but
apologize.
I went with it.
You did.
Anthony Pantano. They hit you like baseball bat, and I used to go to work with bruises, and they asked me why I was getting hurt so much, so I had to quit since good was a physical job.
Yeah.
Goodwill was a physical job. So okay, it says that's his new theme song.
Hooray! And I'm going about every inch and a half. I'm doing a row of hair. And this is the track hair that comes for, it's for hair weeds. Wife, are you prepared to tell a story?
Hello from Sheffield, UK. What was it we were talking about earlier?
I don't know.
Do you have a suggestion?
You could talk about your parents, since I mentioned them and that they're here.
Oh,
And you could talk about their interest in my work, or them learning about my work. This is a lot of weed. Come on over here as soon as you're ready. It's about to be story time, guys. A quick
Good night,
story.
Gregory Haynes.
Good night, Gregory.
That's a lot of weed. Sue McDaniel. I asked for Monster Camp for Christmas. I think I might bring a few of my little monsters with me.
Wow, okay.
What you got in your face? What you got in your face? What is that? Gross. Okay.
Get that nice and pushed in.
How long I got?
2 minutes. Not long at all.
Looks good.
Thanks, wife.
Looks good. Should I go refill your drink?
Yes.
It does look good. Okay, guys. Alan is running to go make a drink. Not an alcoholic drink. He doesn't drink. He's going to make a beverage, and then he's going to be right back. So, a quick story. My parents are in their 80s. They are very cool. You guys would love them. They're pretty cool, and they're very funny. But my parents, of course, very old-fashioned in the respect that, you know, what is this young man do? So when Alan and I were dating, and I wanted them to meet this young man I was dating, it was hard for me to explain to them what it was he A, did for a living, and B, wanted to do for a living. He didn't always get to, like lots of people starting out, he didn't actually get to make monsters 24/7 to pay rent. He had to, you know, work at Home Depot, he worked at Tandy Leather, so he had other retail jobs as well, like a lot of people do. But that was just to, like I said, to pay the bills. What he wanted to do is he wanted to do what he's doing now. And when you explain to your father and your mother what it is that this young man does, it was very difficult. Like a lot of people have said, what do you do the other 11 months of the year? So I explained how we met. That didn't help. It didn't help for me to explain what it was he was doing. He thought it was fun. What else does he want to do? What does he do in real life? Very difficult to explain. What does he want to do with his life? Equally difficult to explain. It's hard to tell your parents. He wants to make monsters for a living. He works on haunted houses for a living. And that was almost 20 years ago. 2001 when we met, 2002, about that time. So difficult to explain now, difficult to explain then. And it was hard to explain to my parents that, you know, yes, I realize that, you know, he's driven, he's passionate about it, he's super talented. None of that was necessarily convincing them.
So it was for a long time. Actually, after we got married, my dad was trying to help him find a job in service, in civil service, uh, law enforcement, life safety, and what have you. And something that's going to be steady, get a pension, and what have you. None of these things applied to Alan. And I had to explain to them for a while that, this is, thank you, but this is not what your son-in-law is interested in doing. And so it was never a source of contention because we were okay, but still it was hard for parents to understand and to explain to friends, what their new son-in-law does and what have you. So all of this kind of came to a stop when my father Googled Alan. He put Alan's name in Google, and he Googled his son-in-law. And once he did this, hey, Captain Marga, I'll tell him you said hi. They're doing great. When he did this, a lot of things popped up that showed his work, that showed that he's constantly working, constantly busy. He was nowhere near as busy as he is now. I mean, he gets busier by the year. But what it did show was that Alan had a spot in the industry that he was working on, and he had a great deal of experience in building and creating and what have you. And so after that, if you guys heard the story about Alan punching out the guy who stole my earrings, my dad looked at him with new eyes, but he wasn't a son-in-law then, he was just a boyfriend. And we were not engaged very long, so he didn't really get a chance to check him out as much as he wanted to until he Googled him. And once he Googled him and he saw, he was like, okay, this young man, hey, Shadow Jim, said this young man works and is interesting, and now Mom and Dad are pretty much Alan's biggest fans. None shall say anything negative about the son-in-love, which is what Mom calls him. Not a son-in-law, he's a son-in-love. And they're super supportive now, biggest fans. Dad loves haunted houses, he loves horror, he loves monsters. This is where I got it from. Dad and I would always watch horror movies. Mom not so much, but Mom always sends him a note every October and says, son, I'm so proud of you. You're living your dream, and you're providing for our baby, and all of this other such, and I'm not coming to see the haunted house, but I wish you the best season ever. And she always sends him this very supportive love note saying how proud she is of him and what have you, but she's not coming to the haunted house and never will. And she won't. But yeah, they now that it took a while for them to understand, it takes a while for anybody to understand. What does he do for a living? This is an unusual job. This is an unusual way to make a living, and it's not something that you just don't see it very often. And when your daughter marries a young man who is looking to do this for a living, how are you guys gonna pay the mortgage? Does this pay? What kind of retirement does monster making have? None. But this is something that parents are going to worry about, and they did. But he stuck with it. He proved himself. So I guess the moral of this story is that if you're looking to do the same, just stay steady. And you might have to prove it to parents or friends or in-laws or what have you, but you can. It's a leap of faith in many ways, but it's a good one to be doing what you love. And it's not it's a gift. It really is. It's a tremendous blessing. Now Dad loves to come in here, come into the monster shop, see what Alan's making. So they have a good time together. But it wasn't always this way. It took a while, and now they love it. But it took some getting used to. How hard to explain? What does your young man do? He makes monsters. Does that pay? Oh, no. So there you go.
If you work very, very hard, it can.
It can. That was a long story, but I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so there you go. He just had a sandwich, and we're back.
Sandwich.
Sandwich.
I'd only have 2 questions for their intended. Do you have a job that you actually want to do every day? And what are your first 2 words to describe my kid? Anthony Montano says, I hope I find a wife like you one day and a supportive family from her family. Anthony, I hope you do too.
Yeah.
Stay true, Anthony. We'll find you a good girl. Salty Scrunch, hello. Yay, I made another live stream. I have been dealing with the side effects of radiation iodine treatment. Good to be able to finally watch again. Glad you're here.
Glad to have you.
Hope you're feeling better. Cat Swift says, that explained everything I needed to know. I don't know what that meant.
Uh-oh.
Ezekiel says, parents don't understand what I do my way at all. Never have, never will. It's tough. Well, Susan. Ezekiel, Alan, if you want bigger ridges on the horns, would you use EVA foam or backer rod or something like that?
Yeah, you could take backer rod and cut it in half and then do the rings with the backer rod. You could do that. Or honestly, you could just do a big welt of liquid nails if you have time for it to dry. Because the thicker you put it on, the longer it'll take to dry.
Shadow Jim saying hello.
Hello, Shadow Jim.
Barbara Saletti says, how would you go about making a Blesbok type set of horns? Did I say it right? Blesbok? B-L-E-S-B-O-K.
I think that's a typo.
Okay. What was that, Barbara? Type of horns?
Well, it's all in patterning. What I normally do if I'm doing a curved horn is I will make a tinfoil sculpture of that shape, and then I will use masking tape over top of that in order to make a pattern.
C. Dempsey, daddies protecting their daughters. Yeah, and my dad's very protective, and that's a dad for you. But you just kind of, you gotta stick to it. I don't know I have no idea what she's doing there. Is the back door open?
No.
Oh, how she got in there?
Well,
What happened, honey? Poor girl. Okay, let's see. Hey, Okie Dale says hello.
hello, Okie Dale. All right, so I have.
What paint would you use to airbrush hair?
I use the alcohol-based ink. That works fine. Spray paint works fine. Depending upon what your hair is made out of.
C. Dempsey, my mask is been put on the back burner for a bit till we got finished with this very big order that we just delivered to Alabama. So hopefully here soon I'll get it put together. Shadow Jim, can you retype that? Not sure exactly what you got, buddy. You can retype that, please. Make sure I'm reading it right. Ezekiel says, I have a daughter. She's a hard ass. My son will be the one that gets the grilling on partners.
She's going to be her own screening program, huh?
She's got one of the greatest names, Isley. What a cool name.
Yeah.
That's a great name. Hey, Jenkins.
It takes me a little less than an hour to hair a Krampus mask.
Are you going to put a beard on him?
Probably not, because again, the reference doesn't have that in the pictures that are on the website. if I can see on my screen that Shadow Jim has retyped his message.
Ask you, are you going to put a beard on him?
Oh. I'm like, bread? I'm like, that still didn't help.
No. I think
He will not have a beard. Or bread, for that matter. She got it.
KBFX Monster Tutorial says, hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey.
Brandon says, Krampus is looking awesome. Vanessa Feliciano, hello, new subscriber, first stream. Here we talked about how we're covering the tracks.
Okay,
That
so
we talked about.
each layer kind of covers itself, basically. Like this one covers that one. And right now you can kind of see through all the layers a little bit, but I'm going to tease this up and make it fuller, and I'm going to paint this off-white hair white with spray paint and or ink. So that is what will be happening with that. So, and these ones up front, when I lay them this way, there's very little of that to see, so it kind of hides itself almost automatically because of the way that I lay the hair.
Paul Bennett, are you going to paint the horns? Paul Bennett.
Yes, I'm going to paint the horns.
Diane Verveil, Widow's Peak between the horns?
He will not, because the hair stops higher up. It stops up here. The traditional Krampus look is a very almost hairless face surrounded by hair, and that's how I have done it on these last couple Krampuses.
KBFX, we'll try to get the new video edited on my page about live cast for Let's Make a Monster Mondays.
Cool.
Vanessa Feliciano says, looks great so far. Can't wait to see it teased.
Well, thanks.
Crappy Clown, I was watching a video and you talked about Dark Hour. Do you make stuff for them or work for them? They are one of my favorite haunted houses.
I'm the director there. I run the show. So, yes, I work for them. And I make stuff for them. It's a vicious circle. And thank you.
KBFX, what are the horns made of?
These are EVA foam horns. Just this last Wednesday, I did a YouTube Wednesday video on making horns out of EVA foam, and I made a pair just like this.
Crappy Clown says, that's freaking cool. Dark Hour is awesome. I've always wanted to do something like that.
When you say do something like it, you mean work at one or attend, or what do you mean? Oh, that's the problem. My wig head has poked through, so I got to get myself a little wig head plug.
Crappy Clown says, all the above. Be in one and maybe potentially make stuff for one.
Hooray! Do you make stuff currently?
Ron O'Brien says, AKA a wad of tape.
Currently,
What's tape?
wad of tinfoil.
Foil. Wad of tinfoil. He says, Crappy Clown says, I'm trying to get into it.
Okay, start making stuff, man. Get on it. Doesn't even matter what it is. Okay, I have to open another thing of hair because, well, I have enough to do one more run.
Crappy Clown, I'm going to start doing sculpting and latex masks soon. That Krampus looks great.
Thanks. I really enjoy making Krampuses.
RBD says, wad of tinfoil equals cat toy.
Could be, yes.
Could be.
And I don't know if you guys ever tried to chew on a ball of tinfoil. It is one of the most unpleasant things I've ever done in my life. And
Is it because
my dogs will gladly chew on a ball of tinfoil.
you chewed on it because?
I forget why I had to chew on tinfoil, but I had to do it for something. I just remember how unhappy it made me and how much it hurt my face.
RBD says, I love that the LEDs are still on through the whole thing.
Yeah, I leave them on because I want to make sure that I don't mess nothing up.
Eligio Rodriguez, Krampuses, Krampi, Krampy. We've had, you know what? That is
Okay.
very frequently asked.
So Krampuses is not a Latin root word, unlike an octopus is a Latin root word. So the plural of octopus is octopi, but Krampus is a Germanic root word, not a Latin root word. So technically the plural of Krampus is Krampusen, Krampensun, Krampusen. That is what multiple Krampus are called. Or you could just call them Krampus, like deer, where there's 100 deer, there's a deer, there's a Krampus, there's 100 Krampus. That's what we've adopted in the States because we don't use the Pusen ending very often on things because we don't understand it. So Krampusen.
Salty says, one side effect of my radiation treatment is that everything tastes like metal. Means to say I've dropped 10 pounds in 2 weeks. Cancer sucks.
I bet it does. One of the very few movie original story ideas I ever came up with was about two people, and one of them had the magical ability to pull diseases out of someone's body, and it turns into a physical monster. And then he teams up with another guy who is just flat out good at sword fighting because, you know, guns and that kind of stuff don't work on them. And so he will pull the disease out of someone and it becomes a monster. And then, you know, and different types of cancer, they look different. Different diseases have a different look. And yeah, I thought that was, because that's what I wished more than anything in the world when my grandmother had cancer, was I wished there was a way that I could fight it, you know. I wanted to be able to fight it, but I couldn't. And that is a fight that all I can do is support those who are having that fight right now. Hair.
You hang in there, Salty Scrunt.
And hang out with us.
Hope every day gets better. Legio Rodriguez is nice. I'm going to use the Usen on everything. Vanessa Feliciano, how did you come up with so many amazing tricks with awesome tips and tricks?
I just do this stuff a lot is all.
Poison says, the Carol of Krampusen.
Krampusen.
Krampusen. Yeah.
Krampusen.
Anthony says, I'd watch it.
Opening another pack of hair to do this much of the head.
Chad says, looks like you need to get busy on some bucket buddies. Lots of buckets. Vanessa says, I love the background, guys. All these, behind you, I guess that's the... Not much.
Actually, all my latex is in the room because the other side is not as temperature controlled as this one. So I keep all my latex in here whenever it gets this cold out. Now that I'm doing the very top of the head, I'm going to move it off of the tall spike. I'm going to put it on a shorter spike. Before I do that, I'm going to cover up the puddle of paint that would be happy to get that white hair.
That's awesome. Salty says, I had a scan on Friday and the results were that they got it all, so hopefully no more treatments for me.
That really is awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
That is fantastic. Take care of you. Take it easy. Sit back and watch this.
Okay. Last bits, yo.
Kat says, Alan, I know you're going to tease the hair, but would you suggest we newbies paint the back of the head in a lighter color first?
Not necessarily. It's not a dark color, you know, it's a flesh tone. Not necessarily. Whatever color your flesh is what I would paint it, because that's going to add a little bit of realism. Like, I mean, I have very thin hair. I've always had thin hair. I'm not losing my hair, but when you look, you can kind of see my scalp through there a little bit. I don't mind seeing the scalp through there a little bit. It actually kind of tells you that it's hair as opposed to fun fur, which I think is a little bit of a better sign of, it's a sign of higher quality.
Azika says, do you do horror movie cards to send out, Alan? I'm sorry, do you do horror Christmas cards to send out?
We have a Still Studios Christmas card that we do. So we'll be doing that here eventually. And all of our customers will get one and such. All right, so let's talk about this very last line of hair. Someone asked how I was hiding the track, and this is what I would do if I had to on the whole thing, but you don't have to. bead of silicone caulk, hair. And instead of just pushing it down right behind the track, I give it about a half an inch. So here is where I put the track down, this part, and then that's about a half inch in front of the silicone. And now I'm just going to push silicone in between all the hair. I'm making sure it really gets in there.
Ezekiel says, I've been drawing over Christmas for the last few days. Great fun. I'm sure the relatives will get a kick out of it. Shadow Jim wants to know, are you making an undead clown?
No, I never will. So now I can cut that track off, but all the hair behind it is firmly glued in. So now I can kind of move that around a little bit.
Mike Chesanowski, did you pour Wife's Ghost yet?
No, not yet.
It's been on the back burner, Mike. We've been
Yeah, we were in Alabama.
had to hustle.
I don't get
that done later.
I don't get to pour nothing while I'm in Alabama. These are dry enough to paint.
Benjamin Coleman, that's smart and awesome technique. Vanessa Feliciano says, beautiful hairline, man. That's a good looking front.
Thank you. I do a lot of hair on masks, so I have to be okay at it. As far as a 5-minute hairline, it's not that bad. Alexa, add Burrow Brown to my shopping list.
Burrow Brown added.
Alan, where do you get your hair again?
From the internet. If not, I buy it locally. When I buy it locally, I buy it at just a nice wig store that's going to have beauty supplies and you want hair weave hair. Hopefully someone can post a link. Hey, RXI and YYX. Knock that off. There's a lot of people on this chat who are actually paying attention to what's going on, and I don't appreciate you wasting their time. That's what it's all about. It's about having the courtesy to each other to not waste each other's time. Maybe that's a desperate cry for attention. Get a girlfriend. We're not here for that. Thanks. Get a puppy.
Well, thanks, Scott. Scott posted.
Hooray, thanks, sir. Yeah, you know, it's about being courteous to each other. And I think that that is just lost on most of the YouTube audience. I hate to say that. I mean, this is a platform that I have found I can do a lot of good on, but I also realize that that's not the case for many folks.
What color are you using?
I used burro brown on the top and a mix of burro brown and purple on the base. I'm about to add some black and do a little bit more on that, but right now I have to fix the nose that apparently I touched when I had brown ink on my fingers, and I inked it up pretty good.
Anthony says, I'm excited about the gigs coming up with my band. The gig is in Illinois. It's at the same place, 25th or 26th, and then New Year's. That's great.
Very cool.
Ron asks, making a candy cane from PVC pipe and cutting lengthwise to get two for the end of my steps. Do you think contact cement would be strong enough adhesive, or should I get the actual PVC glue?
If you're gluing PVC and there's a glue made for it, buy that. Fixed.
Benjamin Coleman, do you ever hold in-person classes?
We do. We have a monster camp here. Actually, I think like last weekend we had a workshop here. It was a lab where we did an airbrush lab for the first half of the day, and then they were able to stay and make Krampus masks. So yes, we do in-person classes quite a bit.
Vanessa asks, I'm sorry, but I have to ask, why do you leave calling ALEXA in the videos knowing it's going to set off people's thing? Laughing my butt. Sorry.
It's really not that big a deal. You don't even have to get up to turn it off, so who cares? Just say, Alexa, scratch that, you know? Yeah, it's just, to me, it's not a big deal. If it's a deal breaker, don't watch them. Black is what I need.
Is it possible to make Krampus horns from cardboard?
It's possible. It's possible. You can do a lot with cardboard. I don't like its longevity. And then you have to worry about how do you waterproof it. And there's just so many other additional steps and things you have to do to make cardboard useful. I'd rather just not use cardboard.
Jim Zarish said the Krampus mask is elegant. I love it. Vanessa says, I love that. You're awesome. Let's see. Okay. Horror Beauty. We don't actually have a time we normally do camps. It really depends. And this year, or I should say 2021, we're watching for things to develop before we say when we're going to do them. We have to watch for what's going to happen with Transworld and what's going to happen in Texas. Because right now Texas numbers are going up, and I don't know if there's going to be travel restrictions or what have you. But we are watching and waiting, and if all goes well, we will have one in April. We do not have the dates yet, and we might try to squeeze one in March. We already have one in January that is already full. So that's where we are so far. Stay tuned, kids. Let's see. Brandon says, Alan, have you thought about putting small LEDs under the ice beard of your Jack Frost mask?
No. I think glowing eyes is kind of cool. I don't know if a glowing beard would be as cool. But, look, it's a Krampus. Now I think this hair is probably, the silicone is set up enough I can tease.
Okay. Paul Bennett says, I'm still confused. Are you saying I should spray prime or adhesive on the horn after painting?
No. No, painting is last.
Ron says, I'm glad I don't have an ALEXA when Alan sets timers for 4 a.m. Let's see here. Digital nucleus. Plasters are a master class in a short amount of time. If you can make one, do it. Yeah. Digital nucleus took a lab, which is in 1 day, and Monster Camp is 3 days.
Yeah.
Pops on the tube. Alan has me trained. He says ALEXA. I say cancel.
That's just a good policy.
David Quintana says crazy times. Let's see.
If it's convenient for me to edit out, then I will. If it's not convenient, then I don't, because it's not an inconvenience to cancel it. If I can activate it by my voice over the internets, then certainly you can deactivate it that same way.
You're welcome, Hard Beauty. We're watching and waiting, and other factors are going to make the decision for us, but we will certainly let people know as soon as we know. Digital Nucleus, the January Monster Camp is a camp that has been reserved for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So it is not one that is open to the general public. It is a private camp. So you'll see pictures of it, but it was not open to the general public unless that family cancels, which is always possible. Then we would open it up. But right now, the January camp that you will see pictures of is a private family camp. 2 years they've been waiting on that. Michelle says, I love how the mask turns out. Hey, Lisa. Lisa says it's beautiful. Horror Beauty says our numbers are going up. Thanks. You're well. I know. We're just waiting to see, and we're watching for Transworld. Susan Attai says, promise looks great. Excuse me. David Quintana, I like the paint on the horns. Vanessa says, it's Krampus. Just kidding. Chad Smith, will you make new stuff for Transworld 2021, or are you just going to go with what you were going to show last year?
Well, there's a lot that I didn't show yet to anybody. And there will be some new stuff, of course. So the answer is yes.
RB says it's a Raver Krampus. The Haunt Dermot says, I love that Krampus. Camacho, I've been wanting to do a walkthrough area with vertical open caskets for my haunt. Any tutorials on that?
No, I mean, just make them vertical and brace them up. No, and you don't need one. You got this.
Right, Demon. I love the color on the horns. They look almost fiery. I agree. I love the color on them. They look great. Ken says, very elegant Krampus. I love it.
Thanks.
Paul Bennett, what product is best to prime horns before paint?
Contact cement wash. 1 part contact cement to 5 parts xylene. That is a primer for EVA foam.
Vanessa says, I really do love the guys in the back. That Christmas hat is beautiful. It is pretty. I like it.
Oh yeah, this is Jack Frost. You might not have seen him. I actually made him on a live video earlier today.
Digital Nucleus says, can we mic up Alan and I'll sit outside? Mike Chesnowski, sorry to ask, when do you use ink instead of paint?
Okay, so ink is details. If I'm doing fine details with this if I'm working with this airbrush, it's normally ink. If I'm working with this airbrush, it might be latex mask paint. This one happens to be ink, but that's just what it is right now. But this is almost always airbrush. I do shading with the airbrush. I do shadows with the airbrush. I do vein work. I do modeling. There's specific things that I use the airbrush for that I use the ink for. But the main color is mostly always with the latex mask paints.
Spooky's mama says hello.
Hello,
David
Spooky's mama.
David Quintana says, when you paint horns, is it how you feel, or is there a design you follow like a rule of thumb?
Well, nature is always your rule of thumb, and the design that you follow. So that's always there. It's always a consideration. What's going to look the most natural? I have found that I like this burro brown or Havana brown as a base for the horn colors. And then I'll do something darker at the base. I have purple in my airbrush, so I use a little bit of that brownish purple to start, but then I went over that with some black at the very base to hide the black hot glue that I used to just put one more layer of glue on that horn. One more bit of the old grabby-dabby.
It says the color grabs your eye.
What's about to really stand out once I start putting it up against white, because this isn't actually white. This is it's like a platinum blonde, and I'm going to spray paint it white.
Vanessa Feliciano says, wow, Jack looks amazing.
Thanks.
Is this your,
Yeah.
why do you use black hot glue instead of clear?
Because that hot glue is engineered to stick the way that I'm using it. Hot glue is a family of glues. It is a hot melt adhesive. Most of them are vinyls and different vinyl formulations. The one I'm using now is meant to stick to EVA foam, rubber, vinyl, those kind of things. The clear hot glue,
Yeah.
it's mostly garbage, in all honesty. It makes a nice, it makes a nice physical bond, but it's not a very great adhesive. So I have about 10 different kinds of hot glue stored right over there, and I use different hot glues for different things. I do have clear hot glue. I also have resin impregnated hot glue. So, thanks, white.
Stacy just said, yay, new filters.
Yeah.
Rod Monster says the spray paint acts as hairspray for the teasing. Good question.
Yes, it does, because it's basically it's plastic. You know, I'm spraying colored plastic onto the head there. You know.
Hey, Edie says hello. Everyone else is asking. Is there before and after? Vanessa says the color horns and glowing eyes really makes a statement, and I'm totally here for it. It does look good. I agree.
Hooray!
I love that ruddy flame kind of ombre you've got going on there. Can we show both of them together?
Man,
That's amazing. How old is that one?
right before airbrush lab.
Why haven't you upgraded the glue gun to cordless?
That's not an upgrade. That's a downgrade. One week of pretty decent work in the shop. Look at that filter. Look at the new filter. Everything in the filter is not in my lungs.
Love that.
And there are 3 of these in the shop, by the way. It's not like it's just one. There's 3. This guy is just as dark. But yeah, now they're on. Now they're cooking and rocking. And I won't have near the buildup that I would if I didn't do that.
Why is it a downgrade?
Because it's not as powerful. So this hot glue gun here, this is 300 watts. My other one, I have a 500 watt hot glue gun. See that dial right there? I can change the temperature that way. I have a cordless hot glue gun. I have 2 cordless hot glue guns. I almost never use them. These are just so good. I mean, this is the way to do it. Now maybe if I was doing hot glue in like a field or something, I guess I would, but even then I might find other solutions.
What if you only use white paint, baby powder, and plaster for a week?
Then it would be a white dirty filter. I still wouldn't want it in my lungs.
You're gonna have to upgrade that. What's your name?
Where I put the spray paint that was shaking. That was white spray paint, and I was shaking it, and I was ready to use it, and then I said, I think I'll change the filter. Oh, I found it. Thanks.
You need to change your subscription to 2 filters.
Already did.
Spooky Samba says, what brand is that? The glue gun I have doesn't pump out glue quickly like yours.
Oh, this is a nice glue gun. You can probably get a glue gun link from Scott if he's still on. But this is a Shore Bonder. But this is the commercial Shore Bonder. See that right there? This is roughly a $100 glue gun. It's not that bad. I have one that's a $300 glue gun. These are very nice. This takes a regular size glue stick. The Shore Bonder 300. I get it from gluesticks.com. GLU-STIX.com. GLU-STIX.com. Looking.
Susan says, you can also buy the Shore Bonder glue gun on Amazon. That's where I got mine. John C. says, my glue gun didn't put out glue either, but then it wasn't plugged in. Oh. Black glue only, says Chris. Yeah, that's what it said. Bought a mask from 57 DIY. I recommended, do not buy from them. They are a cheap skate mask. I'm not happy with them. That's Paul.
I am sorry.
Oh, it looks so good. It's so bright. Oh, I love that. Vanessa says, what's everyone drinking? I've got a Seagram's ginger ale. Michelle says, my Coffee Plus and Bailey's chocolate cherry. Riot Human is drinking milk. And you're having a Coke Zero.
Yeah, Coke Zero for me.
Car Beauty says, under the hair.
Yep, I'm getting there.
Christine McDaniel, what temperature setting did you use when you did Dementor hands? Mine ended up melting together.
Oh, low. The lowest, 250. It's either 2 or 250. I don't know which one. That is a Krampus.
Oh, it's beautiful. Love that white. It's so nice. It is the most popular hair color this season.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody's going away. Oh, what's up? But it looks good.
So you can't see the battery pack at all.
When you spray paint right under the scrubber, can you still smell it?
Yeah, but not as bad. I mean, there's yeah, but not nowhere near the same.
Susan Attai says, outstanding Krampus. Vanessa says, the white brought out more detail. It's awesome. Ron would like to know, what's the easiest way to get Loctite foam off of your skin?
Wear gloves. The second easiest way, just pick at it. Baby oil works. Baby oil, mineral oil, that works. Hand lotion is very helpful to kind of work it underneath of those attachment points.
Sweet Rockstar Krampus. I love it. It changed looks dramatically. Love it. The white brings it all together.
And gang, we're going to end for this evening. So today, live, what did I get done? I made this Krampus, and I made Jack Frost. I did a couple things that were not live, but this is what you guys saw today. That's the work we did. I turned the eyes off. Jack Frost and a Krampus. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching and for hanging out with us. Tomorrow I have another full day of shop work, and I'll be live tomorrow night. You guys are great. Wife, say good night.
Good night. Good night.
I say good night, and I say, go make stuff.